Okay, so this is an old design. These are some of the designs. Like I made this one today. This is the end of that design that I was working on that I posted in the afternoon. This is the end of it. And so this is the end of it. I want to explain to you in detail what I've done. This is CorelDRAW. Later I'm going to talk about setting up your CorelDRAW for those that had issues setting it up. So
Yeah, but I have question, sir.
yeah, can I just continue? Can I take the question later, please?
Okay.
Okay, thank you so much. So this is CorelDRAW, and this is like a work that I've done already. I want to start a new project. Over here, I have an icon that is a plus. This plus icon. Can you see my cursor very well? Do I need to change it?
A aura for I think.
Okay. So this is my cursor. If
Sorry.
I open here, I'm going to open a fresh project entirely. You can decide to name your project, let's say class 1. You can decide to name it. Then just open. One of the things that you need to understand in design um is setting up your window for your design, because if you are going to design, the very first thing you need to ask yourself is, what am I designing? Am I designing a book? Am I designing a flyer? If it's a flyer, what size of flyer? This is like the basic thing you need to ask yourself. Okay, this work I want to design, what is it going to be used for? Is it going to be used for, is it a complimentary card like business card? Okay, even if it's flyer, are we going to print this flyer? Okay, if we are not going to print this flyer,
Please, I'm not seeing your screen.
go out and rejoin. My screen is showing. I'm monitoring it. So if it's a flyer,
I can see now.
okay, thank you. Is it going to be an e-flyer, or is it a flyer that my church wants to print? So if your church wants to print the flyer, you now ask yourself, okay, what size of flyer are we going to print? Because I don't know if you've seen maybe a design that was printed. It's as if it's stretched. Have you seen it before? It's as if it's stretched. They printed a banner. You see that the image is distorted, is stretched. Yes, thank you so much. You can just respond using the chat or by giving me a thumbs up so we can continue very fast. So what causes that thing is because the designer did not design with the size of that printing. That's why you see that the work is stretched. So the first thing you need to do as a designer is to define your workspace. If you don't define the workspace, this thing is not going to work for you. For instance, if it's an let's say e-copy flyer. E-copy flyer is a square, perfect square. Instagram, perfect square. Facebook, perfect square. Your YouTube community, perfect square. And even LinkedIn, perfect square, they will accept it. But Instagram came up with another this thing. Let me just color this thing. Instagram came up with, let me copy this thing and paste. Instagram came up with another size. This is where you can look at. I just clicked out. You can go to this place. You see this meter. When this thing was selected, I'm not seeing anything. So if I click out, I'm going to see this. So you can see your parameters, your unit. This is inches. This is pixels. This is
Hmm?
millimeter. This is yard. This is feet. Because if you are going to define your work, you have to pick a unit of measurement. This is meters, this is centimeter. My recommendation is I use mostly inches, pixel or centimeter. Sometimes you want to print a banner that is 20 by 10 feet. If you put 20 by 10 feet here and you are designing, it may crash CorelDRAW is very heavy, and when you want to export it, it's going to take time. So what you do is that, let's say you want to print a banner that is 20 by 10 feet, use inches to define it. Just use inches, come here, select this box that you have created, come here and define it, and just do it as 20 by 10. You can see the, you say okay. So this automatically becomes a banner size. It's a smaller scale. When you finish designing this work and you export it and send to the printer, once they print, they are going to get exactly 20 by 10 feet, because that is their own end. They are going to receive it, they are going to print in feet. But you that is the designer, you can drop it to use inches to define it. Just put this exact distance. See the way I reduced it. If I reduce it more, it will reduce here. So you can decide to reduce it more. But you have defined that this scale is a 20 what? 20 by 10 scale. And once you export this work and send to the printers, once they print, they will be able to get exactly what you have designed instead of stretching it to get the size that they want to print. That is how basically it works. So let me duplicate this. Control D is to duplicate, Control D is to duplicate. So I've duplicated this thing. Instagram came up with a size and they called it 4 by 5. This is 4 by 5 from Instagram. So this flyer you are seeing, the size is not a square. It's a 4 by 4 width, and then the height is 5. 4 by 5 inches flyer size. It's Instagram that introduced it, and is one of the reigning size for designers. So most churches use this, and if you are going to be designing for your church, one of the recommendation I will give to you is that maintain a particular branding style for your flyers. If you are going to be choosing this, maintain it. If you are going to be choosing square, maintain square. Don't design this small and come back to this for your flyers. Define the size you want your flyers to always be, right? Okay. So when you've defined this, there are some customized sizes. Let's say we come to here. I told you this plus is to create a new project. Like this is one spirit project, this is another project, then here is another. This one now is to define many pages. In one project like this class 1, you can have multiple pages. What do I mean? I can decide to copy this. Let me cut this and I'll put it in this page 2, and then this one now I want to put it in page 3. So this is one project class 1, and I'm having different workspace as different pages that I'm designing. Let's say for instance you are designing a what do they call it now? Okay, let me use this for an example. Page 1 was a different design, page 2 a different design, page 3 a different design, page 4 a different design. So you can continuously be pushing the project and then be adding them up. In all of them are in the same project, but they are different pages. So this is what you can do. You can use this down plus to create more pages, and this plus in front, you can say you want to create a page. This is page 1, but want to create another page in front of page 1, an empty page. Look at it. So this our former page 1 is now page 2. So you can decide to do all that, right? So that is setting up your workspace. This is a customized space. You can see A4 here. Look at this A4. If you open this A4, you can decide to do a customized. Let me delete this, or let me cut it. Let's say we want to, this is A4. You want to create printing work. This is A4 size. You can use it to define that. Then this is A3. You can see A4. This is A0. Those big papers the architects they use to draw their building in the olden days, or they want to print there. You see A1, A2, A3, A4. These are customized one. You can see envelope size. You want to print envelope for your church. This is envelope. And this is business card. You want to create complimentary card for your business. This is complimentary card size. And you can see other different envelopes are here, and different pages for web developers. You want to create a web banner. These are web banners. So there are different of these things, but most times as a designer, it boils down to you um creating your own, what you want, your own customized space. The entire workspace I'm seeing here, the canvas here is A4, but what I want to design is in what? A This customized size, which is 4 by 5. Take note of this size. Take note of this size of flyers when you see them. For instance, um let me go and share my entire screen. So I'll be going in, and out of the internet to show us a few things. Let me present my entire screen. For instance, this is Pinterest. Okay, let our Pinterest load. So this is defining it. I want you to take notice of something. You can decide to say, okay, without selecting anything, nothing is selected. Without selecting anything, you can decide to say, okay, I want to define this my entire canvas to be my workspace. It work for some people. It doesn't mean I can just use this and design my work and be going my way. So you can decide to delete that and then go to this your Canva. If you notice there is nothing on this page, you just go here and define that what I want is 4 by 5. Automatically your Canva it has assumed that particular size. This size is your workspace now. And CorelDRAW, if you don't create a workspace, we call it creating a workspace. If you don't create a workspace, you can't really do anything here. This is like an empty land. But we need to prepare this land for work. What do? The first thing you do after defining the size of what you want to design. Let's say I want to design a square flyer. Let me use 10 by 10. You can see 10 by 10. I will now hit enter. This is a square for me. I want to design a square. I just use 10 by 10 inches. So first thing you do is to go to this is your rectangular tool. Go to this tool and double click on it. 1, 2. Just double click on it 2 times. Click on it 2 times. You can see that a square is created fitting this particular workspace that you have defined. If I go here and I said what I want is 4 by 5, I will define it 1, 2 by clicking on the rectangular tool. 1, 2 is going to create the perfect workspace that I want. Look at it. If this thing is outside, look at what I just created is outside, but I want it to be aligned in the middle. Just by selecting it and I press P on my computer for Windows users. If you just press P, select the object you want, press P, it's going to align to the center of the work, exactly to the center. Press P, it will align to the center. And there is something about this box you have created. This box has a border, a what do they call it? Some people call it um outline. It has an outline. Me, I call it border. Some people call it an outline. And this is not professionally advised for you to leave this thing in your work. So first thing we do is that once we create our box, maybe give it our initial primary color, let's say black, or let's say red or pink. First thing you do is that you right click. Look at this color wheel. This color, this one that is crossed, this first white that is crossed on this top is showing no color. This means no color. But this one, look at this one, is green. This is blue, light blue. This is deep blue, this is black, but this one is no color. If you see, our workspace is white, so look at it, there is no color here. So if you press P, this will go back inside. If you select this, this will be the color. So let's put it in between. If you select this, left click, it's going to show no color. There is no color inside of it. You can see there is no color now. If you left click on this green, it's going to color it for you. But I want to remove this border color. If I go to this no color and I right click on it, look at the border color is out. If I right click on this blue, you see the border color is here. If I left click, I'm coloring the entire box, right? If I left click on color, I'm coloring the entire box. If I right click on color, I'm also adding border to the shape that I've created. You can see it. I'm adding border color to the shape that I've created. Let me add this. Let me add red. Let me try yellow. I'm right clicking on the color. That's why I'm coloring the borders. But if I left click on color, I'm coloring the what? The inside of the shape that I've created. This shape, you have different shapes here. If I told you this thing is outside. Once it's selected and I press P, it's going to go to the center. Look at your circle. I've selected circle. If I right click on this circle, I'm creating a border color around it. If I left click on the circle, I'm coloring the entire circle. And this circle is here. If I press P, it's going to go to the center of my work. I don't know if we're together. Is my network stable, please? I need feedback so we can
Yes, sir.
continue.
Yes, we getting you. We getting you.
Okay, thank you. So this is it. If I press P, it's going to go to the center. Sometimes you are designing, you are looking for something. Sometimes I will just do Control A, select everything, press P. Everything will come to the center of the work. So you can look for what you are looking for or remove it. Look at this green is the border. If I right click on no color, the green will go out. So when you create your workspace, let me go back. I've created my workspace. Let me go back. The first thing is that this my page opened as A4, but what I want to create is a flyer that is what? 4 by 5 inches. So my unit is selected as what? Inches. And I come here and I define the parameters 4 by 5 inches. And I've defined my workspace. I'll go to my rectangular tool. I'll click it 2 times. 1, 2. Please, you can jot down these things I'm saying. And then once that is done, you can color this thing with the initial color. Color it with the initial. And this is by left clicking. Right click on no color, remove the border color. This is how far we have gone. So you can color your box with this color is one way. To color this thing is one way. I'm going to be showing us different things as we progress. We are going to be designing and be learning on the go. So um let's say we want to use this blue and we want to do something like a gradient. What do I mean by a gradient? A gradient is like you see a color flowing from light blue to deep blue or to darker blue. If you double click on this place, you can see this place. I've selected this. Okay, let me create this small object. And let me tell you one secret about CorelDRAW. CorelDRAW is like your basic computer definition. CorelDRAW is like garbage in, garbage out. If a command is on, you have to shut down that command to do something else. Look at where I shut down the command. Let's say I was moving this thing, or I was drawing this thing. When I end, okay, let me select this circle again, or oval shape or ellipse. Look at the command is on. It's showing me that I can create multiple. The command is on. If I want to shut down this command and work on a different thing, maybe I want to color it, I'll have to click on this select. Look at this pick tool. It's called pick tool. I have to click on this pick tool to end the command of drawing this ellipse. Yes. So I will go and end it. Then I can decide to select this one again. I've selected this. Then I will now color it or do something else I want to do with it. So that is that. So you can see when I select this, it's showing me, okay, it's showing me that this is what I've selected. You can see the color code underneath. Look at it, the color code. The color code is showing me that um my border of this, look at, my border is what? Red. And the main color is what? Is blue. Let me change the main color. It will reflect here that my main color is yellow and my border is red. Let me change the border. It will reflect. So this is what guides you to tell you when a border color is active or not. But let me remove the border color here. You can see that there is showing me none. There is no color here, showing me none. So having known this, let me delete this. I'll come back to this one. I want to create a gradient. I'll double click on this. If you can see this color, this color shows me the color that I've used to color this my object. So I will double click on it 2 times. And when I double click, it's going to bring me to different color palette. This color viewers will show me different colors. I can choose any color I want from here. Maybe this is the color I want and all that. There are different color model I want to show us. Look at this place. This is color model. I want to use this to teach us something. I want you to pay close attention. I don't know if anyone here, maybe you've been designing. One day, you designed a very beautiful work and it was so beautiful. And when you went to print it, you went to print the work and sent it for printing. And when they printed the work, the color of the work changed. Or the work, for another scenario is that the work was looking very beautiful on your computer, looking different. But when you exported the work and sent it to your phone, it was looking different. I don't know if anyone you have such experience. If you have, I want to hear your voice, please. Okay, thank you so much. I got thumbs up. So it's because when you don't design with a particular color model, it's going to affect your work, the output, either the printed one or the one that you send to your phone. You use black for your design, it was very colorful, or one other color. Sending it to your phone, it will now be looking one whack. It's because of this color model. I want to teach us something. I want you to pay close attention. You can see the first color model is written as RGB. This RGB is the color model that is used to design every gadget, your computer screen, your television screen, any gadget you see, your phone screen. The color model they use to design it is RGB color model. But your printing, not all printing, your DI machines uses RGB. I am a full-time printer. I print work a lot. That is when I learned most of these things. So RGB, your DI machines are customized with RGB. Your phone screens are customized with RGB. Your computer screens, your TV in church is customized with RGB. So if you are going to make a design for your church use or for television, you have to pay close attention to the color model you are using. And if the flyer you are designing is an e-flyer, you have to pay close attention to the color model you are using. Because if you don't pay close attention to it, what will happen is at the end of the day, it's going to affect the output of your flyer. Very beautiful in your computer, but when exported, it's looking different. The color will change and all that. Or when you print it, the work will look different other than the color you used earlier. So this RGB is used to customize your digital screens. Why this CMYK? Jump this CMY. This CMYK is used to customize your flex machine printing. when you want to print your flex banner, this CMYK is used to customize your flex machine. So if you are going to resize your work for flex machine printing, most times this is what happens. You send your design to the printer as RGB. The printer will just go there and go and convert it to CMYK. The color you use in designing will change and they will print it that way for you. And when they print it, your design, you look at it as a designer, you'll be like, what really happened? So your flex machine, the machine they use in printing your flex banner, the color model they use in calibrating it is CMYK. And this is the two colors I will want us to concentrate. If you master this RGB and CMYK, these other ones, they are choice. I don't use these other ones. I've not used them before. The only two colors I use is RGB and CMYK. These are the two colors I've used over time in my work. What I'm explaining may look complex, but I want us to pay close attention, because if you are going to design as a professional, you have to pay close attention to these little details. That is this thing that these are the things that separates professionals from any person that just wants to design. So because the work we are going to design is for digital use, is an e-banner or e-flyer, we are going to concentrate all our color use to be what? RGB. So this is RGB red. You can see RGB red, how shiny it's looking. But if you change this color to CMYK, look at how it's looking in CMYK. It's looking like an orange. But when you change it to RGB, you'll see that it's looking different. It will look different in RGB. When you change it to CMYK, it will look different. So pay close attention to these basic things. So this is me selecting one color that I want to color this my box with one color. But I want to, let's say I want to apply a gradient. I want some parts to be darker, some part to be lighter. I'll double click this again. This one I don't want to use single color. I want to use what we call fountain fill. It's called gradient, but you can see apply a gradient of colors or shade. You want to apply shade, maybe lighter parts to darker parts. So in CorelDRAW it's called fountain fill. So let me click on this fountain fill. I've clicked on it. This fountain fill is asking me, there is red here. Which other color do I want? It's giving me white already. I'll select this white color and I'll go to this white color and I'll go and change the color. So I want a darker red. Let's say this is what I want. Let me change this red color to blue, for instance. Let's say I want this blue color, and over here I want another blue color that is thicker. This is what I want. Maybe I pull it up a bit. You can rotate this thing. You see the way I'm rotating it. You can rotate it the way you want. You want it this way. You want it like this. You can rotate it. So this is what we have. This is what we have. It's no more just a plain color. We have both the top side is lighter, the bottom part is darker. So we've achieved gradient. This is how you achieve gradient in CorelDRAW. You can double click this and go and change your color. I'll say this color I don't like you. You can see RGB showing which color you are selecting. Is it RGB or CMYK? You can change it here. So you can decide to define the colors you want. Can define the colors you want, look at it and change it this way. You see it will flow this other way. But this is just for you to know. But over time when I'm designing, there is something I do. I don't really follow all these things. One of the things I do, there is a platform called freepik.com. This is one of the places where we download backgrounds. I want you to take note of it. I'll be giving you this thing in between. Free.com. Freepik, this is the name, freepik.com. This freepik.com is one of the places that we get design materials. Another one is Pinterest. Pinterest. So when you go here, you are going to download background, or you can go randomly on Google. Let's say I need blue background. You can just say blue background on Google. But I want to warn you against something. Just going to a random website and selecting image. There was a time I did a job for a pastor outside the borders of Nigeria. When he gave me the design to do, it was a book design. He told me that I should please not use random image from Google because someone designed a book for him and just went on Google and downloaded a a background or an image and use. At the end of the day, what happened to him was that he got a lawsuit, and because he used someone's image, copyright. And when he did that, the people sued him and he paid for damages. So if you are going to design as a professional, one of the things you do is that there are some free platform like this freepik.com. I'm going to send a list of most of these places where you are going to download some of these free items. But let me just give us this one. You can come here and search for things. Let's say design background. Let me just say design background. You can see images. You come here, download your images. You can sign in for free and download your images and then use randomly. But on Google, if you are looking for backgrounds, you can download. But for premium images, please don't go to Google and download anyhow image and use, so that they will not sue your client or they will not sue the person you are designing for. This is another website on Splash. On Splash is the second one I recommend. I've given you the first one, freepik.com. On Splash is another one. You can see on Splash. Uh, my network is a bit terrible. So, um, my network is terrible, terribly terrible. So let me just copy this. I'm supposed to, before I will pick up this image, I'm supposed to load it open, but I just want to pick it up to use. My network is really terrible. So let me just drop this background. So this is what I picked up from Google, for instance. And most of our designs, we are not going to be creating background by using colors. Most of our designs, we are going to download backgrounds and use. Yes, we are going to download background and use. Okay, let me go to my computer and check if I hardly save backgrounds. That is my issue. I hardly save backgrounds. I just go collect a background and use, and that is it for me. Check if I'm going to background. Let me see if I'll see a random background. Since our internet is disturbing. Okay, this is one. Let me pick this up. Let me pick this up. Let me pick this up. Let me pick this. 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 Pick this. Let's design example. Let me build this. Okay, nothing concern me. Can you still hear me, please? Okay, thank you. I wanted to download some images from the internet, but it's giving me network. So let me just pick the ones I have from my computer. Then we can replicate them. Okay, so one of the recommendation I'll give you for a start is that you get other people's work and be redesigning them. With that, you grab like this one now. You can see this is what? A square work. This is a square. Let me define this as 10 by 10. This is square. So I want to redesign this work, for instance. Let's start with this. It's simple enough. Double click on this. CorelDRAW has given you an access. Let's say you want to redesign this. And instead of going to stress yourself to pick this color, look at this tool here. Color eyedropper tool. This color eyedropper tool, you can select it, pick this color, and use it to color your own work. They are two in number. See, this one is here. Color eyedropper is here. This one is that you want to pick and use. But see this other one that is here. This other one that is here, you pick and drop the color. I'm dropping the color. I'm not using it immediately. I'm saving the color for maybe something else. Let's say I want to keep this color. You can see the color will appear here. You select the color. Look at the color will appear here and save for you. You want to use the color later. So if I look at this work, what do I have? I can see I selected, this is text. I want to type. Because this is a quotation sign. So I want to type. I will just type a quote. It's showing me as black. If you increase it, okay, this is not quotes. Where is quotes? This is quotes. Okay, this is quotes. You can see quotes here. If I change the color, it's now white. I can decide to change the color to this. It's now this color, right? And just by selecting this, some icons here will show where you can flip it. Look at flip this side, flip up, flip back. This is what I want. This is how it's appearing. I want this, right? So you can change the font. This is where you can change font because it's a test. Because it's a test, you can change the font. Look at it. I want to start from these basic ones, then we'll go to the complex ones. So I want you to follow me. Because what I'm saying, how to redesign this thing, this is a quotation sign. I'm not going to start drawing this symbol. Let me just change a font. I'm going to see a, a font that will give me something close to this. So let me select this. These are my fonts. And I'm starting from top and I'm going down. These are my fonts. These are my different fonts. This one is giving me a different shape. This is not what I want. And I'll still check for more. Some will not show. Some fonts will not show. So you keep checking the one that will give you what you are looking for. So um sorry, the class may be a bit low, but slow, but I want you to understand and follow me what I'm doing. Ooh, those that want us to rush will run very soon. But let's pick the basics. Once you understand the basics, it will be easier for us to do other things easier. Like to be very simple to do. Um This is not it. This is not it. This is not it. I may not get this exact, but maybe when you are practicing, this will be one of the first tasks I'll give us to practice. Okay. This is not it. It's not looking like what I'm looking for. This is looking different entirely. Okay, let me see if this work for us. So this is what we've done. We've gotten this. Let me reduce the space. Let me reduce this. So if you can see, if you check this work, you see that part of this green colored shape is cut off. Why I'm doing this is that I want to show us something that we are going to use for our complex flyer design. It's called power clipping. To send this image, let's say this is where we want to cut this image, and then to send this image into this other one is as if this big square box is pregnant. When you right click on this, you right click on the small one you want to send inside. You right click on it, you see power clip inside. When you say power clip inside, it will show you this arrow. This arrow is pointing where should I send this small box into. You say I want to send it into this one. If you see, this, look at, it's cutting now. You can see it's cutting exactly how this thing happened. It's cutting because we did what, we power clipped it. Now if I'm moving, two of them are moving. Because they are like one object, mother and son, a woman that is pregnant, because the small one is inside the big one. So what I will do, how do I edit this thing now? I want to edit it. If I double click, I'm going to see inside of, the box is like inside. You can see this thing is faint, showing us that is outside. Why this is like the inside of the box? If you move this thing like this and keep it here, this blue, you can see this blue line is showing us our workspace. So if I do finish, look at finish on top here. If I click finish, I'm going to see that thing that I arranged. Look at how it's looking now. Look at, I arranged it to be around
Unless I go back.
this. You can see this is how I arrange it. Let me rearrange it. It's here now. So if I open again and arrange it to come and sit here, I want it to sit like this. When I do finish, this is where I'm going to see it. And it's inside this work. You can see it clearly. This is where it is. It's inside this place. Let me increase this. This is where it is now. If I reduce this and I do finish, this is where it is. So sometimes this is how they achieve this thing. So let it not look strange to you. How did they achieve this thing that some parts cut off? You can see just by holding alternate. Let me teach you a shortcut. Just by holding alternate down and selecting this, you can move it without opening the box. You can move it to anywhere you want without opening the box. Look at it. I just hold alternate and I'm moving it. You can see you can move it anywhere you want by holding alternate. So sometimes when I'm designing around people who want to copy what I'm designing and I don't want them to understand what I'm doing, I use shortcut a lot. So if I hold alternate, I can move this thing. See, I'll select this thing and I'm moving it inside. You don't know that I'm moving something. You are asking yourself, how is he moving this thing inside? But the short way is to double click it to open. You can move it manually. So it's something I want you to pay close attention to because we are going to need it for this our new work. So just by selecting your text box, your text, when you select text, you can decide to type like this. You can see it's typing in black. You can see it's typing in black. The one seeing what I'm typing is typing in black. By default, your text will come with a black color. It will come with a black color. It's you now that will decide to change it. Select the text and change the color. You can decide to change the color. You can see this. You can decide to edit it, double click. You can decide to change it to whatever thing that you want. It's yourself. There's another type of text. This is one-way text. Those that design newspaper, sometimes you see them, you see a very long text on newspaper. This is still selecting this text. Instead of just clicking and typing, right? You select, you click, drag it like this. You can decide to drag it and you are typing plenty things. You can type end to end. For instance, let me just go to our group or to internet and copy a text. Let me just come here, double click this. You can see let's say I want to create a magazine or something and I need to type this plenty text. You can see my text is showing plenty. You can see it's showing plenty text. Let me move this with alternate. This is what I want. I can decide to increase this way, increase it this way, increase it this way. Just like your Microsoft Word, you see your newspaper, you can see this A here. You can decide to click A. The first text will change like this. You can look at it. You can decide to zoom in. You say, okay, after here, I want to create a paragraph. You send it with your enter key. With your enter key. You can decide to say, okay, after here, I want to create a bullet. If you are going to create a bullet, you select that. Let's say this is what I want. I want to select this and create a bullet with this. Look at bullet icon. You create a bullet. You have created a bullet for your magazine work. This is working with text. I'm trying to give you breakdown of some of these tools. Look at it. You can decide to do this. I told you this text. You can decide to type 1. I've typed this. I've changed the color. You can change it to any color you want, depending on the work you are doing. This Thomas name as a single typing. But if I have this entire text, I've copied this, and I want to, let me keep this one, and I want to create this type of text, select this A, come here and select something like a box. When you click, you select, you can paste it like this. You can decide to paste. Let's say I remove this A and I remove this ballot. You can decide to have this, right? Are we together? Any questions so far?
Yeah, I'm getting you.
Huh? Are we together?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm getting you. We're together. Yes, we are together.
Okay. Thank you so much. So just be patient with me. Just be patient with me fully with time. It's a gradual process, right? It's a gradual process.
Yeah.
So if you notice, let me select this with alternate Control C, Control V. For instance, I want to replicate this. Okay, let me drop this. I've shown you this. Let me say this is our design that we are making. I said this is what we have. and we need this one. Let's flip it. I told you about flipping. You can flip here when you select the object. Let's do something like this. We'll flip it. Let's say we want to flip this, and we are adding a border to this. You can see where the border is playing a role. You can see the border, right? And now we have added our border, but the border is too small. The line is too small compared to this. This one is bigger. So what do we do? When you select this, you have added your border. It's showing that you have added your border. You double click on this outline box. You can change it. It's showing hairline. You can change it to, let's say, 8. You can see it's bigger now. Look at this 8. If it's too big, you can reduce it. You say, okay, let's have 4. Look at 4. This is 4. You can see 4 now. But there is somebody's picture inside this shape. So let's go. Let me say I need that Poseidon's picture. Let me drop it here. I want to change it to black and white. This is where you edit your pictures. When you select this is picture, you go to effect. Look at your effect. You can go to effect. Look at adjust. You want to adjust this picture, go to adjust. You can do image adjustment lab. When you go to image adjustment lab, you can decide to adjust it. The last design I made, that Theophilus picture, this is the color I used. That's why it's assuming the last setting I did. But I don't want the last setting. I want to do a new one. You just say reset. Let me reset it. If I reset it, it will come back to this. Just by clicking on saturation, we have done photo editing. Just by clicking on saturation, I'm removing the entire red color, the entire color from this picture. This is increasing the saturation, it will be too reddish. If I remove saturation, I'm returning it to black and white. You can adjust it to what you want. Adjust this, and then this. Look at what we have now. And this is the picture. I want to right click on this picture and I want to power clip this picture. I want to send this picture into this. Look at it. I've sent this particular picture into this and I'm holding alternate. I want to adjust the picture. You can see the picture. There is something I want to teach us. Let me teach us the first style. There is a way you see that instead of Apostle just to be inside this picture, I don't know if you've seen a design, instead of him just to be inside this, instead of him to just be inside this picture, he will be jumping out of this shape, right? What you are going to do is that you are going to, before you power clip inside, before you power clip him inside, you are going to duplicate this shape. Duplicate this shape and do Ctrl C, Ctrl V. So I have 2 of this shape. You can see I have 2 of this shape. So this one now that is here, let me change the color to let me change this color to yellow. So I have the same shape too. You can do this for square, you can do this for rectangle. Let me show you a typical example of what I'm trying to do. You can see this flyer on my system. I did this work 2 days back. I did this work 2 days back. You can see the way this man is inside this shape, but his head is jumping out of it. This guy is inside this shape, but his head is jumping out of it. To achieve this is what I want to achieve. I want to teach us how to do it. So we are learning everything on the go, both styling and working with CorelDRAW. So I want to show you this. So if I go back to this, I've duplicated this. 1, 2. So I need to have two copies of it for me to achieve that shape or what I'm trying to show us. I need to duplicate it. So this first one, there is what we call converting to curve. This one that is on top, I want to right click. You see convert to curve. This convert to curve is that there is a tool called shape tool. The first tool here is called pick tool. The second tool is called shape tool. This shape tool is what we use to shape things. Let me select it. I've selected this shape tool. Let's say I want to, if I click on this design, is I want to shape this thing. I want to shape this thing. I want to shape this. I want to shape this thing. I want to shape this thing out. Something like this. I'm trying to shape this thing out. This is the tool I use to shape it. It's just like you are trying to crop an image. So that is the work of this shape tool. I use it to shape things. So for me to shape this text, I can't shape it because a text, I can either do text. This is the only thing I can do for text. If I'm going to use a shape tool on a text, this is what I can do. Let me show us this. What I can do on a text if I'm using shape tool is that I can either increase the line between the space between the lines like this, increase it like this, or I'm going to either increase the space between the letters. I'm going to close it up. This is what shape tool will do to your text. Yes, to your text. This is what shape tool will do to your text. It will give you two options, the one to open it up or close it up, or this one, go like this or go back. This is what shape tool will do for you. But if we are going to apply, don't forget, the shape we are using is a text that we just type. That is what gave us this shape. So I need to convert this thing to curves. I need to convert this to curves so that I can pick the points around this shape and then adjust them to what I want. So let me convert it to curve. Convert to curve first. I've converted it. If I pick shape tool now, you can see I can double click on this and I can change the shape of this object because I have done what? I've converted it to curve. So if you want to change, this is, if you are going to design logo, this is the pattern we use in designing logo. You convert your regular shape to curves, then you can use them now and adjust them to what you want to design. Let's say you are designing a logo, you can convert it and do what? Redesign your logo or any other object. I can decide to say, okay, this thing that is here, let me reduce it down. Let me add this shape that is here. Let me increase it a bit. You can use this thing to adjust it. Yes, it can work because I've converted it to curve, right? Because I've converted it to curve, so I can do all this like this. Okay, so let me go back. I've converted it to curve. So after converting this first one to curve, what do? I can now put apostle inside the shape. Apostle is inside this yellow shape. Then what will I do? I hold alternate. I want to adjust his image the way I want it to appear. I want his head to pass through. His head is above this place now. So what I'm going to do is that I will make this shape. I will remove the border color 1 and I will remove the entire color of the shape 2. Or let me add the color first so that you see what I'm doing. Then I'll hold my shape tool. Then I'll click on top here. You can see this top. Then I will open it up. I will click here. I will open it up. I will click here. I will open it up. I will open it up. I just want the head to show for me. Then what am I going to do? I'm going to apply no color. So if I'm applying no color and I bring this thing back to the original shape that I have, back to this original shape that I have, you can see I have formed this image. What is happening is that there is a shape on top of this shape that we have formed this thing, but because we have removed the border color of this shape and the coloring of this shape, you can see we have adjusted this and this is what we have. This is working, right? It's only you that is the designer that know what you have done. We know exactly what we have done. This thing will still work even if you have a circle. Let's say you have a circle. Let me say I select Apostle's picture. 1, 2. I've pasted it. I selected the picture. I copied the picture. So my first shape is having this. Ctrl C, Ctrl V. This is my second shape. I convert. Let me change the color of the second shape. Convert the second shape to what? To curve. Paste the Apostle's picture here. After pasting it, adjust it to what you want. Then come here and select your shape tool and then double click here, increase here. I just want where his head is showing me. Then I'll remove the color, bring it back to the original shape. And by the time you adjust it very well, by the time you adjust this thing very well with your shape tool, adjust this thing very well. By the time you finish the work, some of us will say I have finished the work. By the time you finish the work, you can see that Apostle is jumping out of a circle or out of a rectangle, right? So this is how it works. This is how it works. So we have modified what we have over here to this, and this is it. So when you have your text like Thomas, you can come to this place and change your font to what you want. Good morning. Okay, this is the continuation of the class. So like I was explaining, we have two tests. You can write like this, or you can use this way. Color your text just by typing. You can let me zoom in. You can just type in and it's coming in black like this. Then you enter the command and you can color it to any color you want and all that. Then you can come over here and change your font. So this is it. So I want to teach us, for those that don't know how to install fonts, there are different fonts for design. For instance, one popular platform is 1001 font. 1001 font. If you check 1001 font website, you'll see a whole lot of fonts. And for every design, like what Mr. Tim taught you people on typography, my recommendation professionally, you are not expected to use more than 3 fonts in a design max. As a beginner, don't use more than 3 fonts in everything you are going to do. And that is my recommendation. So for those that are asking how do we install new fonts, you can come here 1001 font and then install some new fonts. And for body text, for instance, you want to add your address, your address, basic things in design. I'm still going to be showing us some of those things. What I mean, for instance, let me come here on Pinterest and search for church flyer designs. Okay, there are many flyer designs here. What I mean by body text, you want to add, let me pick an example. You want to add your minister's name, date. Okay, some people can use a different things for date. You want to add date. It can be the address of the meet of your venue and some of those things. You can add them by using a simple font, and the font I will recommend is Poppins. There is a font called Poppins. There is another font called um yeah, I would recommend Poppins for us. Now you can look for Poppins and download. Yes, if you come here and type search for font, you can search for font. See Poppins. This is the name Poppins. So if you search for it, you can download it and use it. It's a very simple font that many designers use it for body text. So this is what I recommend for you, because by all means this is Poppins. You can download Poppins and use for your body test. And this is like body test. You see all this little, your name and all this, and address. That's what I mean by body test. So you can use Poppins to do that. We are going to be going into design full time, but um, if you come here, there are a whole lot of fonts. Yeah, if I go back, let me cancel this search that I did. If you just go back to the home, there are a whole lot of fonts here you can download. So the other font site where you can download fonts, and somebody will ask, how do we install fonts? Okay, let me just pick a font, maybe one of the fonts that I will likely install. Let me say, okay, I want to install, let me pick a font. Let me pick a font. These fonts, I don't like them, but let me just pick a font that I want to install. Um, okay, let me say for instance, I want to install this Castello. I will download it first. That is the first thing I'll do. I'll download it, and uh, I'll download it first. This is it. It has downloaded. So I'll open it without even unzipping it. You can open it. So let me close this. You can just, this is the main font. This one that has .otf is the font. These ones are just pictures. This is the main font. If you double click on this, you are going to see install. When you install it, it will appear in all your softwares. Yes, it will appear. So that is first. Then let's try another one. Let me download another font. Let me check more. So you can just keep your this thing simple. There is another font. I don't like using complex font. I like using very simple font for my designs. Ataria. Uh, Ataria. Okay, let me try this guy. It's looking like something I would love to work with. Ataria. So um, this is the font .otf. If you double click, you install. This is the font, and I've installed it. So if I come back to my CorelDRAW, yeah, if I come back to my CorelDRAW, Ataria, if you go to A, you are going to see it, Ataria, the font that we just installed. Look at the font that we just installed. This is it here. Yeah, this is the font that we just installed. So you can go to text. This is in small letter. I want us to change it to capital letter or to other text case. So if I keep this thing here and go over to text, you are going to see change case. This is change case. You can decide to change it to capital case, uppercase. You can decide to change it to title case. This is what title case is. It means the initials of the each word is going to be capitalized. So if you go back to change case, you are going to see uppercase. Then this is uppercase. So this is the font we just installed. One of the fonts that we just installed. So this is how you get fonts easily. Then another font I'll recommend to us today Okay, another font I will recommend to us is this font. The name is called Bebas. Look at this Bebas. It's a very popular font that designers use. So I'm recommending three fonts for us now. I'm recommending Ataria. I'm recommending Bebas. This Bebas, I use it a lot. Then Ataria. Then I'm also recommending Poppins for you. This is Poppins. Where is Poppins? Uh, where is Poppins? Where is Poppins? This is Poppins. So you can download Poppins. If you just go to YouTube, Google and search for Poppins family, there is font we call font families. It means Poppins, for instance, it has other children. So if you go, you can install a font family. If you go to Google and search for Poppins family, you will see all of them. This is how simple it is. Most designers use it. It's very simple font. So I'm recommending Ataria. I'm recommending Bebas. This is Bebas. I want you to get Bebas. Very important. This Bebas is very simple to use. Get Bebas, get Ataria, get Ataria, get Bebas, and get Poppins. These three for now. Okay, let me recommend this also for some persons. In place of um, in place of Poppins, some person I was using Montserrat. Look at this Montserrat. Is another very good font that designers use. Montserrat. It looks like Poppins, but it's a very popular font. So you can get Montserrat, also family. If you get Montserrat family, it will also be good. Look at, I have plenty of them that I can decide to use. So this is what we call, when you hear font family, it means it's a font that has different weights of usage. It can be extra bold and all that and all that. So I want you to get Montserrat, get Poppins. In place of Montserrat, you can use Poppins. In place of Poppins, you can use Montserrat. So I want us to get it. This Ataria is what we use for the theme of your programs. Yes, as your major head test. Why Poppins and the other ones? You can use the bolder ones for the theme and all that, but I like using bold fonts like this for my theme. Then I use Poppins and or Montserrat for my body test, those small tests that you are going to be seeing. So just like we have established, we're almost done with this. So I want us to go into something else. In course of our class, we also defined this. If you remember, those that followed up from the beginning, you remember we've done this. This is our 4 by 5 flyer size for Instagram, and most designers are using this size. So I want us to go to the real thing now. And the real thing is that, let me bring Apostle's picture here. For instance, we are going to be using it for a different work. So let's go to here. I told us okay, I mentioned earlier about this platform called um, freepick.com. Is one of the platform I would recommend that you can get backgrounds, images, and all that. Even AI generated images are here. So let me just say graphic design backgrounds. So this is graphic design backgrounds, or just type design backgrounds. You can see different backgrounds to use. You can specify the color you want. You can specify a particular color you want. If I say orange backgrounds, for instance, it's going to give me orange background. These are different orange backgrounds, right? You can see different orange backgrounds in this place. You can see different orange backgrounds. So depending on what you want to achieve, if I say brown brown, and orange background. Brown, orange background. Look at it. You can see this combination. So this is how you get your background. And let's assume I'm getting this. Let me get this for instance. Let me pick this. Sometimes you don't download it, you can just copy it. Okay. Why is this not allowing me to copy? Okay. So I'm downloading instead. I was trying to copy it, it didn't allow me. Don't know why it's not allowing me to copy. Okay. Okay. You can, this is the background. Copy file. So I've copied the file. This is the background. Okay. This is what we downloaded. This thing is delaying me. Where did this download go to? Okay. I think this is what we downloaded. Is it? Oh, it's not it. My download is a bit scattered. What's the name? Okay. This is what we downloaded. So I unzip it. I'm trying to unzip it. Okay. This is what we downloaded. This is the background. So I've copied it. And I'm coming here and pasting. So this is the background. It's looking bigger, so I'll reduce it. This is the background. You can also go to your what do they call it now? You can also go to your free pick. Okay. What should I pick as an example to design now? What should I pick? What should I pick? What should I pick? What should I pick to design? I'm looking for something simpler that will not be complex for us for a start. Okay, let me pick this up. I'll just replicate this. Oh, this is looking more like it. Let me take this. Let me take this. Let's redesign this, then we can do other things. Let's redesign this first. So the background I have, this is red and orange background, if you can see. Orange and red. Yes, orange and red. So if I come to this place, I can just search red and orange background. Red and orange background. I may not get exactly that because it's not my original work and I'm only going to reference it, but I use it to show us example. So I'll copy this. Let me take this. Let me take this for instance. I'll drop this. So if you remember our drill earlier, we said you power clip it, right? Power clip inside here. So we are power clipping. I want some of this part to be here. So let me reduce this. This is inside the work, but the other one doesn't have all this pattern. So how do we remove this pattern and make it simple? You go to this effect, you see blur. You have different blur you can use. This is one of my favorite, Gaussian blur. So if you use Gaussian blur, you can see you have blurred it out. You are having a plain background instead of having those background with pattern. Let's go back. If you don't use Gaussian blur, there is other blur effects you can use. You can see radial. See radial blur. I use this one sometimes. Yes, I use it sometimes. Look at how what is giving you, how the pattern is. So you can decide to use that, or you can decide to use motion blur. This motion blur, I also use it a lot. So you can see motion blur, it has worked. Any of them will just work for you. But it's just what will work for you that you are looking out for. And you can stretch this. And let me go back to our image adjustment lab. Yeah, then let's reset. We want Apostle's picture to come back to original. I want to, if you can see, there is this scratches in Apostle's face. I want to give it an effect. There is this rough effect you see in pictures when people are using it to design. But this picture from the studio is too sharp already. I want to convert this picture first before I will sharpen it again myself. So you can see his skin. Let me convert it first myself. You go to bitmap and convert it. Convert to bitmap. Then change from this 300 to 150. So I'm converting it. You can see it's a bit blur. Let's go back. Let me convert it again. If I convert it to, let me say 200, it's a bit blur. This will give me the ability to sharpen it to what I want. So let me sharpen this image back. I'll go to sharpen under effect. Look at this, the sharpen I use on sharp mask. So let me sharpen it. You can see some designs when you can see something like this in designs, right? You can see something like this. You can reduce it and sharpen it to what you want it to look like. But let me go back to this. This is the original picture. Let me try to sharpen this original picture on its own. This I think is looking too much for me. That's why I wanted to convert it. You can see it's looking too sharp. So let me convert it first. That will work before that. Let me use 250 instead. Let me use 250. Okay, then let me sharpen it back for myself to what I want. So let me reduce this number. Then let me drop the percentage. Okay, this is what I want. I prefer this. It's more sharpened for me. So you can rotate your image like this just by clicking. If you click the image again, you see the rotate icon. You can rotate it. If you want it to stand straight, right? You can rotate it. There, I want you to pay close attention, guys. There is a very important tool. You can see these images. You can see the bottom is there is kind of is fading into the background. There's another background that we want to introduce to this work. For instance, let me pick a box. Let me draw a box and let me pick our color eyedropper. Let me pick this color. This is the color I'm looking for. Yes, this is the color. Let me remove the outline of this box. You can see this. So there is a tool called transparency tool. It's one of the greatest tool you need for this software as a designer. I use it a lot. This transparency tool. So when you pick this transparency tool, you can click here. Look at what I did. If you right click this and power click it, you are going to have this exact this. You can see this. Somebody is confused. Let's go back. I picked this box and I dropped it here, and I picked my color too. Now I've picked this color. I color the box. The box has an outline. You can see it here. So I remove the outline, and then I'll go to my transparency tool. Look at the transparency tool. So I'll click here. I want to mix this background I have with this one. So I'll click here now. Once I click here, I'll hold it. I'm not leaving it. When you click, you hold till you come to this side. What you are telling this thing is that, look at it. I want you to fade this my color to this point. So I will power clip it inside. You can see this. You can go in, click on this and increase it if you want. Yes, you can increase it. You can also increase this part to make it smoother. You can see this. So this is what we have. So when you do this exactly, you have achieved our background. Our background is set. Then you can see this picture too. We want this picture. I told you about our shape to yesterday. The space above this picture, I want to reduce it. Let me reduce this space. Then I want to apply our transparency tool on this picture. Remember, what I want is to fade this bottom. So when I select transparency tool, I'll click where I want. I'll hold it and transparent this bottom. You can see this. So when I now put this picture on top here, you can see it's transparent to an extent. Look at it. You can decide to say, okay, I want part of his hand to show, to be visible. And this is what I've done. You can transparent multiple times. Let's say I do this part first, but this side is still showing. Let's say I've done this part because of the way the image is. I've done this part. So what do you do next after you've done this part? We will still need to apply transparency in this side because this is a block image. We have applied the transparency here. We've applied the transparency. This side is okay, right? We've applied transparency here. Then what do we do? What I will do is that I will convert this image to bitmap again. I will convert it to bitmap. Let it be like a block image before I will now apply transparency again. That is where this bitmap comes. You convert to what? Bitmap. So converting it to bitmap, I'm going to use 300 standard. 300 is the standard. Then I will now, if you see, if I apply transparency, it's showing me I can just do normal transparenting this thing. I will show you this one later, but let me return this. What I want to do is I want to apply transparency from this end. So I'll click here and apply transparency again. You can see this. You can decide to show his watch small, but you can see that we have applied transparency on this picture 2 times. You can see the picture is still neat, right? You can decide to increase your sharp to sharpen the image more. Look at it. We have sharpened the image more. The image is sharpened. Sometimes you see flyers, some church flyers is sharpened like this. This is how you sharpen your image. So when you do that, now we have our image. You can power click this image inside this box. We've achieved one thing. Then let me pick up another picture. Let me pick up another picture. Let me see, I'm having, okay, let me pick up this woman of God. Let me pick up this woman of God. And then let me bring her here. And I want to drop her. Another thing is that her own picture now is above. So let's work on her own picture first. Because one of the things you achieve in picture, sometimes you do designs and the minister's pictures are different because of maybe the light from the studio where they took the picture. Some are red, some are kind of pinkish and other. One of the things you try to achieve is to tune the picture colors to be close to each other so that you won't see a pastor's face is almost red, the other one is looking bluish, and the other one. So by all means, as a designer, you look out to edit those pictures so that, like, this picture is kind of flat in terms of color. Red here is flat, but you can look at Apostle's picture. The red here is more on this picture. His color is more. I know the sister is darker, while him is fairer, but there is what we would do as designers to at least bring these two pictures close in terms of color ratio. So let's go to our image lab. Let's go to our image lab, and then when we go to our image lab, look at this saturation. If you increase this saturation, I want I want to be seeing apostle zone, so I will compare two of them. Then you can look at temperature. I want to increase the temperature. You can see our own temperature is increasing. It's becoming a bit reddish, right? You can see this. Then you can see shadow. Let me drop the shadow. You can see the contrast. Look at the contrast. It's too much. Then let me reduce this a bit. Then I think I've been increasing the brightness small, just small. You don't have to pull it too much, just small touches. Then small contrast, and let me reduce the contrast a bit. I think I've gotten what I'm looking for. Look at this close to Apostle's face, but this too much. Let me reduce this. Okay, I think this will work for me. You can see to an extent her face is a bit closer to Apostle's own. I said, well, though not completely, but this is one of the things you look out for. And the same effect we are going to apply to her own picture. So this her picture is selected, if you can, as you can see. Then we'll go to effect and we sharpen. See on sharpen mask, we sharpen it. Now we are sharpened. You can see her picture is sharpened like Apostle's own. So when you see these sharpened textures in picture, this is how we achieve it. So you say, okay, if I increase this thing more, it's going to be more. You can see it. Then depending on the level you want it, depending on the level you want it. So this is okay for me. Then let me power clip. Okay, we're also going to do transparency for her. Look at transparency for her own picture. We have done transparency. So we have transparent her own picture on the bottom side. Then let's power clip her picture inside this. We'll power clip her picture inside. Then when we double click this, you can see two of them inside this is inside the work, like inside the stomach of this box that we are designing. Then another thing is that I want Apostle to come above her, because we brought her own picture. She's kind of above Apostle's picture. What do? You right click, you look at order, this order is you are giving it a command. I want Apostle's picture. The order I want it to appear is that this picture should come in front of this picture. You can see this her own picture is now behind. You can do it Ctrl Z. I've done Ctrl Z now. Her own is still in front. I can decide to skip her here and say, okay, I'm working with her own. I will come back to order. I will say, I want this picture to come behind this one. Then her picture is behind it. I don't know if you understand that. So let's adjust and keep the two pictures where we want them to be. Yes, this is where we want these two pictures to be. So now I've adjusted the two pictures. So the two pictures are here. Look at what we have so far. This is what we have so far. You can decide to say, okay, this type of pattern of transparency we give to Apostle's picture at this end, let's give to her own too. So what you do, if you click transparency, you see that transparency is active on her picture. So you end the command and first convert this her picture to bitmap 300. Then before you now apply transparency again at this end, look at it. Now it's smoother now, right? It's no more giving us that sharp edge. So this is what we are having for the two of them. This is what we are having. We are having this thing. Look at what we have so far. You can decide to say, okay, this is for instance, this is the ministry logo. Let me copy it. And this. I talked about layout. Let me explain it now. I talked about layout. That I'll be teaching you about layout. One thing that you need to familiarize yourself is, if you see this work, look at this design, you can see that everything that they designed, the design elements falls between a boundary. Look at it. This design element falls between a boundary. Look at this boundary. Everything that they use for this design fall within a boundary. Look at, there is space here, making this work look neat. There is a space around the work, and you have to achieve that as a designer, a professional designer. You don't achieve it by just looking, you achieve it by doing the right things, and that is the right thing that I'm showing you here. So the right thing you do is that just draw a freehand box. Then this box, now still change this box to what? 4 by 5, almost like the same size of, if you place it like the same size of your um your workspace. So reduce this small, press P. If you reduce it and press P, that is, you are centralizing it. This is what we have. When you reduce it and press P, someone will ask me, what size do you use to measure this? Most times, because I've designed over time, I just do it manually. You can decide, some people do it this way. You can decide to draw a box and drop this box at the end of your designs. Let's say this box. For window users, this box, how to select multiple objects together in CorelDRAW is by holding your shift. Let me say I select this, I'll hold shift and select this second one, the big box, our workspace. If I press L, I'm telling this small box to start from the left hand side uh, of this workspace that I selected with. Let me duplicate. I'm selecting this new one that I duplicated. I hold shift and select this main box. Shift, hold it, and I press R. I'm telling it that I want it to come. Okay, let me select it again. This, shift, this, and I select arrow. I'm telling this small one to come and start exactly at the right hand side of this box. If I hold top, I'm telling it, I press T, still two of them selected, I press T, I press arrow, I press T. What I'm telling it, I want it to start at the top of this big one, and I want it to start at the right hand side of it also. So let me select this and duplicate, Ctrl D. You can see this one, let me color it yellow to differentiate it. So if I select that yellow and I select this main work, what I'm telling it is that let me tell it now to come down to the bottom, come down to bottom, and I want you at the right hand side. You can see this, B is bottom, then R, L is left hand side. So let me duplicate this again. It's just here. Sorry, let me remove this. Let me select this and I'll select this workspace, and I want it to be in the bottom and I want it to be in the right hand side. You can see this. So this is how you select and control your object without manually moving them across the window. I select this small one, and I make a reference by selecting the second one, and I'm telling it I want it at the top and I want it at the left hand side. That is, top is T, left hand side is L. Just not Control L, not Control T, just T. Once you've selected the two objects, select this one, shift, hold shift and select the main object. Then press only L, right and left, then select T, which is top. Then you've done this. So some designers do this. This is how they create their layout. They will hold, come here, look at, you can see this ruler. You can come to this ruler. Once you click on it and drag, you can bring out a line from it. Look at this line. You can zoom in, use the line. and balance this line. This is what I want. I'm creating something. Then you can also come again and do this. Select, zoom in and balance it. This is where I want it to be. Then you can come to this part of the ruler and select this and do this. Where do I want it? I want it in technical drawing. This is like our construction lines. For those that have used AutoCAD, this is like your construction line. For those that do trading, this is like your trend line. Pardon me, please. I just want to uh, give us what you understand. But these construction lines you are trying to construct, you can decide to add a new one here. Just press P to centralize to show you the center of this work. Select this one, press P. You can see the center of this our design. So when you zoom in, you can see we have defined where we want our um, our work to look like, to concentrate. So anything we are placing, let's say we are placing this logo, for instance. Let's say we are placing this logo, for instance. This logo should not exceed here. This is where our logo will be. This intersection. Let me use arrow key up. This intersection between this and this is where our logo will be. When you design your work like this, look at it. This is how you measure it. So when we are done, we are going to delete all these ones. This is one way of doing this. You delete all these ones. Just select a random box and use it to achieve this. You can see what we have. We've done this exactly, right? We've done this exactly. No matter the logo you have, this is how you achieve your workspace. So it means the theme of our program, the date, everything we are going to add to this work must align within this confined space. Which confined space? Somebody is asking me. This confined, this is the space. This particular inside space. This inside space. This is the space. Let me zoom in again. This space. This is the space. So anything we are going to do is going to be within this space. So we have space around our work that will make our work look neat. You can see it in this work. If you look at this work, you can see there is a space around the work. It will give your work breathing space and it will make it look more professional like this, right? So let's go to uh, their name, for instance. Let's go to their name. Let's go to their name. You can see Apostle do okay. I'll color it with white. And the basic color rule which Mr. Tim taught you, and I'll still mention it, is that basic color rule is that light color come on top of a dark color. It's a basic color rule. A light color will come on top of a dark color. A dark color will come on top of a light color. So if you understand this thing, when you have a dark background, you put a light color on top of it for it to sing. Then you go ahead and pick your what do they call it? You pick your let me add this. Go ahead and pick your you go and pick your this thing. What do they call it here? If you make mistake in typing, CorelDRAW will prompt you. You right click and then you can go and correct yourself convener. So it's like Microsoft. When you make mistake in your test, you just go select this you can come here and select your poppins. Use your poppins. And there is something you have to understand. Mr. Tim talked about that. Alignment. When you're aligning your work, you have to maintain an alignment pattern. Yes, you have to maintain an alignment pattern. Now, if I'm going to bring the sister's name, if I'm going to bring the sister's name here, I'm going to bring, so let me reduce this. Let me reduce this. Pastor Odinaka. You can see this. Let's say we are saying let's say it's a guest speaker, for instance. So you will not, when it comes to your test alignment, let's say when you are aligning, okay, I reduce this size. Let me come here and make this 10. Then let me make this 10. Okay, no, font size. Okay, let me increase it 10.5. Or let me use 11 instead. This is 11. This is 11. So when you're aligning your test, let me reduce this. And I told you about test. When you have your test, you click your shape tool. You are going to either do what? Open it up like this. The more. Yes. Either you are opening it up or you can use this to stretch it. Right. So when you want to do your test alignment, when you want to do your test alignment, for those that are not typing, test alignment is we are aligning either to the left, like this one now we are aligning to the left. So you repeat the same thing over here to the left. You don't say because this test is by the right, you are going to align it center. If you are using center, use center or true. Let's say you are using center, use center or true. Yes, it means this one will have to be in the center. And look at what I just did. How do I align this convener to the center? What you do is select this one and you make a reference. This is the reference points, like what I showed you when we are drawing the layout. You hold your shift and select this text and you press C. C is center, L is left, arrow is right, C is what? Center. E is in the middle. You want to bring it to the middle, that is E. Let's do control. So if you want to bring this to the center, middle of that reference, which is E, it will take it to the middle. But this one, we want it center, not right, not left, but we want it in the center. That is C. Press C. That is C. This is if you want to align everything to the center. You hold this, select this, hold shift, select this, and you press C to align to the center. And what are we sure that this text, sometimes your text is above this one. So what you do, you select this just to be correct. When you select this, you make reference to this text. You shift and hold this. You press E to make sure that two of them are centralized in their height. Then you do this, you confirm, hold this and hold, press E to confirm that two of them are centralized. This is what we have so far. This is what we have so far in this work. This is what we have. You can decide to do left hand side. You can decide to do left hand side. Then that is left for you. You are the designer, depending on what you want to achieve. So if we're aligning left hand side, we also align this L left hand side. We also align this L left hand side. So I believe this is clear enough. Then you can see the theme ma math. Let's use manifest for our own. Manifest is what I want to use. I'll color it white. I told you light color on what? Let's pick a color from this work. This is the color we want. We want two colors. There is white here and there is this yellow here. That is this yellow here. So we are going to use what I taught us earlier. What I taught us earlier is what do you call it? If I select this, this is the main color, that is bottom. I taught you about gradient. So let me double click this and then we'll go to fountain fill. Then fountain fill, you can see here is white already. All we just do is to adjust it, roll it up. I told you you can rotate this. So we want the white to be up and this color down. This is what we have. So we've achieved this. All we just need to do next is to change the what? The font. So let's change the font. What is the font? Let's pick a very stylish font. What font are we going to use? Let's just be going. I have some fonts that are in the bottom. When you design over time, you know where your fonts are. Like this font is a very beautiful font. Yes. What is the name? The name is Demo. Demo. You can see this. This is this. You can see this font. For me, I can use this font to make this design. It's okay by me. But let's try something else. If you don't like it, let's try something else. There's another font I will consider, but this is not like it. You can check more. You know where your fonts are. You know the fonts you want to use. Okay. Is another good font I use. I use it a lot. Is another good font that you can use for this. This you can see this. These are the very fine fonts you can use for this if you want. So I don't know the one we'll use, but let's just check for more. So select this text and change the font. Select this and check. If you notice, I didn't do the original design, so I may not have the exact font. I don't know the fonts that the designer used, and I'm not good at knowing fonts just by seeing them. I'm not good. Even the fonts I use, most time I don't even know them. Yes, I don't know even some of the font, the name of the font that I use. So let me assume I want to use this for instance. So how did they create this? You can see a shape like a C shape or a shape like an oval shape at the bottom of this work. You can see that there is a shape that was created. So how did they create that? How did they create that? As a designer, one thing that help design is curiosity. This like what they created. Something like this. Something like this. That is what they created. And it cuts up to this place. It cuts. It's just a small this thing that cuts into it. Let me say this is like what they created. This is like what they created. So let me hold it and centralize it. Let me remove the border. Let me shift it up small. Then let me centralize it. See. So there is a thing you do when you select this one. You select this. It's like cutting using an object to cut through another object. So I'm selecting this. I want to select the second one. I hold shift, I select this, our test. Some icons will pop up here. These are different tools to use to edit these two objects that you have selected together. When you select this, you don't see those things. When you select only this, you don't see them. Well, let me duplicate this. Okay, no need. But when you select two of them, select this first one and select the second one. And remember, this one is on top of the test. So you select the two of them. Okay. When you select the two of them, you will look at the one I want to use. You use trim. Use this trim. When you use this trim, what have happened is that we have used this object to cut across this one. Yes, that is what they did. They used another object to cut across this. Yes, that is what they just did. They just used another object to cut across this, and this is exactly what we have achieved. And this is the object. So this object that is here now, if you see the same object, they use that same object. Look at that same object. They use it to form this shape here, right? What I'm going to achieve with this is that I'm going to create something like this. Look at what I want to create. Okay, I want to create something. Let me go back, control this. Then when you select this, you select this, and select this. I want to come back to this and this. This is what they just did. This is what they did. That same object that they used, there is when you select this and with your shape tool, look at this arc on top. When you select that same object, you look at this top, this pop-up will come, you select arc, and then you just use your shape tool to adjust it to what you want. Yes, till you get what you want, right? So when you do that, you can now come here and create a hole here. Look at another thing that they did. One thing that will make you a good designer is that you are okay, is that you are very observant with what people do in their work. Once you are very observant, you are going to uh, do a whole lot of. If you don't want to use this way, you can just come here. There is another tool. There is this tool here called uh, pen tool. I use this pen tool. You can select this place, keep this middle, and come to this place. Let me escape. Look at this. Come to this middle. You can do this. Sorry. This pen tool I'll teach you later, not with this. Let's focus on what we are doing first. Look at another thing. If you notice this same shape that they created, it has a there is another circle on it. So they still came here and drew a circle. around this shape. Perfect circle. When you want to draw a perfect circle, and they use, when you select the tool, you press E to centralize. And look at what they did. They increased this first. They selected the tool and still trim it. They cut it off. Now they have created a hole around it and they reduced this one. That is what they just did here. You cut it first and you reduce the circle inside, and now you have created a hole inside here. So you can decide to type 25 or 23, and uh, this text color is what they are using. Centralize and E. So look at, so you can decide to use poppins, hold this one, shift E and center to centralize. So this is what we have so far in this our design. This is what we have so far. It's not really perfect yet, but we, at least you have a clue of how it can be done. At least you have a clue. That is the main thing, right? The main thing is the clue. Then you can come here and create this shape. Look at this shape that is created here. How to create these shapes? You can come to, if you open this ellipse, okay, open this, you can see common shapes. Under this common shapes, you open the common shapes, you come here, it's still selected, common shapes are selected, you come here, you can select the shape you want. The shape they used is this is the shape that they used. So the shape they used is this shape. Look at the shape. This is the shape that they used. So you can decide to select your shape to bring this thing small, reduce it. You can reduce it to what you want. I told you about flipping. You can flip it to what you want, like this one here, like this one here. You can say, okay, I want it this way. So you can remove the border and put what you want. You can put what you want. And see. And modify this design small. And you can see, you can decide to pick this color if you want. You can pick this if you want, depending on what you want. Then you can use uniform fill and add a different color. Let me add small orange. Yes. Let me add this part. I want to select this color. This is the color I want. I want this to dominate. if you double click on this, you can add more colors. So, yeah, if you double click on it, you can add more colors. If you click more, you can add more colors to it. Yes. So you can see this thing is almost as if it's in the background. To pop this guy up, let me duplicate it because I'll be needing it for, I'll need it here. I think they use the 3 places, and I'll also need it down here. So this first one, let me add shadow. There is a tool here, it's called shadow. Look at shadow. Look at shadow. So I'm selecting shadow. When you select shadow, you can add shadow to this to give it more life so that it will pop out. You can reduce this 15 to 6. Yes, that is shadow. Add shadow to it. You want, let me just say 20. So this is shadow. You can decide to select this and add border. This will give it more life to look better like this. Looking better for me like this. So theme new life. Then theme is what? New life. And I'll change the color to white. Theme is new life. Can decide to, if I do Ctrl K, I'm going to break this. If you see these things, they are the same weight, but I want to edit them differently. So I'll do Ctrl K. Ctrl K will scatter them as they are individual distinct. If I do Ctrl K on this one now, it will break them into individual singular. Okay, let me do Ctrl K to break them to individual text. Yes, but if it's this other one, I can do it. I need to reduce. So what I want to use poppins, but I'll reduce this one to regular, and I'll use this as, I reduce this, centralize it, and I'll centralize this. Okay. I'll centralize this. Okay. So this is what we have. This is what we have, right? This is what we have. Then life in Accra is there. We have this life. Can reduce this like this, and they flipped this one this way. Can actually edit. Uh, hmm. So you are the designer. When you are designing your own, you are going to perfect it, do it very well, more than my own. This my own is just, I'm just doing it because I'm teaching. So life in Nigeria, life in Abuja. So I'll still change the font towards the province. So free entry, we have to orange color. First one is this, go here, open, I don't want this again, what I just want is this and this. This is just what I want. Entry, free entry, don't miss. So free entry. Don't mix, free entry, don't mix. Control K, right? So let me use this one, 8, 8, and draw this one. So far so good. This is what we have. And we are going to select everything here. We select everything there. I want to group all of them. You do Control G, group. Then you now that all of them are grouped as one, Control G. To ungroup them is Control U, or you can just use here to ungroup them. When you select any object that is grouped, you see this place. You can click here to ungroup, or you just do Control U to ungroup. So I'll hold Shift and select this main workspace and select C to centralize all of them so they can be in the center. So you can see they are centralized. The space here and here, they are equal. So when we've done this, if you notice, we are now moving aside this our workspace. Then you can put your date, 17th November 2025, for instance. And we do this. Let's say we are using this. We'll just come here and say this one should be normal regular. So Control C. Okay, click this, hold shift and press C to centralize. So to create this other one, basically we are going to draw a box, right? Draw a box, draw a box, select this, bam, this is the color, this is the color of that box. The box has a border, so you remove it, then keep this other color here, Ctrl C, Ctrl V. I've dropped the box here, then reduce this one to this place, reduce this one to here, reduce this size, and let this one jam it. You select this one, call it right. Um, then you can duplicate this, Control D, bring this one here, and okay, let's do the hub, Abuja, Nigeria, for instance. And then if you see this one, because we created this text before, is on top of this one. So the shortcut is shift and page up on your keyboard. Shift and page up is the shortcut. Shift and page up. That is a shortcut. So then for VM prompt, so you type where you want it. Then this the partners now, you can drop all of them here and create their own. Then also this page is down. So what you do is that once you are done, you can reduce this small, and you can also reduce your image to accommodate the entire thing. This, I'll select this, hold shift, select the second one. I'll hold shift, I'm holding shift, then I'm reducing the two. So you have more space to do other things. So you just go ahead and finish. So this is what we've done so far, and it's a very simple concept. Yeah, it's a very simple concept. Let's say you want to add something else. Okay. I want you to digest this first. In the next class, we are going to um, continue working on this, and then we'll push. This is just a plain background. We are going to add more things to this design, and we are going to also create something different in the next class. So thank you so much, guys. If you have your question when we are having a live session, you can ask for more explanation. But with everything we've done, you should be able to create something beautiful. like this. Don't forget, always go to your Pinterest to get design ideas is my recommendation. When you get design ideas, church prayer meeting for instance, you can always get uh, you can always get a whole lot of ideas. People are designing on a daily basis, so you can get those ideas, pick up the things and come back and work around it. Work around it. As you are redesigning people's work, your hand is getting stronger. Yes, your hand is getting stronger and you are mastering color combination. It's my recommendation that you always look at other people's work. In this design field, there is nothing like copying. Copying is not a sin. Yes, copying is not a sin. And this is my basic rule I give to all my students. Always start by redesigning people's work. Yes, redesigning people's work. When you do that, when you redesign people's work, what happens is that you master color. Most persons wants to start mastering color by themselves from initial time and they do a whole lot of blunder. It's good though, but master people's work first. Be redesigning other people's work. In course of doing that was the same thing that happened to me. When my this thing changed, when I started picking colors myself, it just happened on its own because over time I've looked at what people have done and I've tried to work around it. So that is that, and this is where we'll call it a day for this class. So I want to get your comments on the group after watching this video, and I will give you an assignment. This is my assignment. I'll give you an assignment. I'll drop the assignment for you. After dropping the assignment, then I will I'll drop the assignment. What should I give you people now? Okay, let me give you this to redesign. Use your church logo if you have your church logo. Yes, use your church logo. I want to get this design. This is your assignment. So this is your assignment. I want to get this from you. I'll drop this picture for us in the group. So this is your assignment. You can see what they did. Let me just explain it a bit. They got this background and they got this praying background and they changed the picture to black and white and then faded this part. They faded this part of this picture and power clipped it. You can see part of her hand is cut off because it's power clipped. Then the logo is here. Then this text, arrange this text clearly and then draw this very, very clean. How do you draw this? If you pick this your pen tool, I wanted to show you this pen tool. You can use this pen tool to draw. You close it. Look at this. I've drawn this. If you give it color now, I've drawn it. Look at it. So it's very simple, right? It's very, very simple. So I've drawn this. So do the same. When you draw this other one. Then this mega, if you see this yellow inside, is like a background that they power clipped inside the text. This text is having this color, but they power clipped another. It can be a yellow, this thing, what do they call it? You can decide to create the way the thing went. Look at it. You can just do this, and then when you pick this yellow color, you can color it, remove the outline, and then use your shape to fine tune it to look cleaner. Then you can use it and power inside your text. So you can use that to power inside the text. Then likewise this, draw this, and then everything. Look at the way that they shifted. We've been doing only shape that we are straight. So when you want to change the posture like this shape now was, so you can just click it and then move it like this till you get what you want. Yeah, so you can say okay, uh, this is what I want. You can just do all that. Look at this. You can change that, or you can draw it. You can draw it manually like this, and then close this, and that is your shape. So I've actually explained this. Then likewise this box, and this box has transparency. Take note of this. This box down here, they have transparency because I can see this background part of it. So get this type of background. You can see background pattern like a sunshine and all that. So just try to replicate this. I'll drop this flyer on the group also for us to replicate. So thank you so much, guys. I will see you in our next class. Do have a blessed day ahead.